Hi. Hello. Yeah. Yeah. Good morning, good afternoon, good day, wherever you are in the world. Bear with me. Good day, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Carol Matibula here saying hi. I hope you're doing well. I hope this corona times are getting over so that we can really have time to breathe and begin again, begin our life and move away from all this confusion that we have found ourselves in. And so today I come. I've been in Holland now for since from when was it? Since from last week Wednesday, and leaving today, going back to Belgium. And I have done so much. How do you say it? Reflection. Self-reflection and reflecting to the situations we find ourselves in today. And I'm so finding myself in this serenity. I find myself in this peace moment, where I realize that sometimes it's good to be out there in the world and be a part of the movement where the world wants to change things, and you really have to do your part to be a part of that change. But it's also good to reflect and surrender back to your own magnificent place, where it is you, where you have to realize that the world is such a big place, and there has been so many things over the past that has been beautiful under this planet, and there's been lots of things under this planet that has been very confusing. We learn in this planet. There's so much, all that you want as a human being, you can be a part of. But it's all about choosing, really. What do you choose? Who is you? What makes you you? What makes you tick? What makes you feel connected to your inner divine self? And I realize at this moment that there's so much things that has moved us, from starting with our life being intimidated by this thing called coronavirus, and hearing so many stories, and really trying to find a space in the tree where you can hold on and feel like you're not perishing, because of the whole world felt like we were about to perish. This is how it felt. I feel that coronavirus was made bigger than it was supposed to be, where it made all human beings find themselves completely on their knees. And now, while watching this sense of how do you say it? Sense of vulnerability and lost, and trying to discover ourselves back, then we are once again exposed to this so-called race war, this Black Lives Matters and etc. And then once again, you move from one fear to another, and you then have to really think of yourself. Where do you want to be? What kind of message you want to send? And for myself, I realize that I live in a peaceful world. I've got this peaceful world that it's not perfect to start with. It's just alive. It's just alive on its own. And I would never do anything to try to run after perfection, because I don't know what this world is. I always say to people, I'm a visitor in this world, and I remain a visitor. And I learn what I can learn, so that I can be able to interact and mingle and connect and find people who are like-minded people like me. I will do my best to connect. I live for connection, and this connection teaches me my bigger world, what my bigger world is made out of. And I realize that I can never be a fixer of the world. I can just speak from my innocent self and saying I am here to do the best for my soul, to learn, because of I truly believe that one day when we die, all the lessons of life will take us to another space. As you know, life does not only end up in this breathing. As we breathe, as we are alive, there's another journey that we are going to, that none of us we know. Of course, it has been advertised in such a fear and scarcity way, which is death. And I'm not saying that I want to die, of course, but I look forward in those times when I'm given another task, because of I am here for the task of learning all these things, all these things that are happening, the corona times that we're in now, things that I have learned since I was young. Next year I'm turning 50, and I realize that I'm so rich in the information that I have gathered. But I think at this present moment, it's time to reflect and start all over again, let's start all over. Let's start all over again so that we can start asking ourselves, where are we going from here? Because sometimes when you look at yourself from collectiveness, from groups and from big voices that are making one song, it's good. But sometimes we can find ourselves lost because of we get stuck in a groupie environment. But for your voice, for your life, you came here by yourself. You came here through the doors of your mom entering this world, and your mom was there to just really welcome you, because of also your mom has no understanding of your coding. How are you coded as a person? What's going to be, where is she going to be, what doors is she going to enter, what kind of people is she going to interact with, what's going to be her most important essence of her belief system in this world. So all that lies in you. You are the leader of your own universe. You are the changer of your own universe. And you can only change your universe by really realizing that, you know what? Let's live in this life that we call life. Let us be embraced by life. Let us be confused by life. Let us be, but the only thing that you have to realize is that nobody in this world is wrong. Nobody in this world is right. Nobody in this world is bad. I get tears about this, because having to watch at this present moment, I'm being bombarded. When you go into your Facebook and try to interact and see what your rest of the world it's saying, what is it? What is a view? What is a view of the day? And you are showing so much violent, these violent videos keep on occurring to try to keep you in a certain narrative. And you realize that, long before Facebooks, long before Black Lives Matters, long before these things, these bad things were happening anyway, because people are trapped. People are trapped into unknowing. When you don't know your soul, you are part of you're part of the lost soul. I wouldn't even call it a problem, because sometimes we find ourselves doing things because of the moment of where we are in our souls, how we feel about ourselves, how we feel about our journey, how we feel about those around us. What is it that we want to leave? What is a legacy we want to leave? And it's all about a legacy, really, though, now, because a legacy begins with a household. Where were you brought up? Where were you brought up? Who was there to mentor you? I'm not talking about your mom, I'm not talking about your dad, but those people who gave you a chance of who gave you the meaning of being an adult. Being an adult, it does not only happen from the day when you came from your the household of your parents, what teaching they gave you. The moment of adulthood begins when you start opening your ears and listening to wisdom. And wisdom can come in different ways. And from the moment you hear this wisdom, and then you start feeling kind of sensation in your heart, kind of warmth in your belly, and say, wow, what that person has just said has made me understand something that I've never thought that it would. I never thought that I would see things the way I see things. This person has just opened my eyes. And I think this is where we need to live in, where we really surrender into innocent, surrender to nothingness. And when I say nothingness, is that we are not intelligent as we think we are. Some of us, we want to make words to be perfect. And I say to myself, I always speak from my innocent self, and saying that I have walked in this earth, and every day I live it as if I'm writing a book. Every day I observe information, and I take and I listen to the melodies of people. I listen to tones of people. I look at people, the skeleton, the shadow self skeleton. How do they move? What are they saying? What are the rhythms of your feet are saying in this legacy that you're creating? Because one day you would look back after you have died and view What is the legacy you have left behind? And I realized that I am just, I'm just this beautiful woman that I love. And I think it starts from there, I am this beautiful woman that I love. I classify myself as beauty, and my beauty does not only lie, on my skin. Or I feel that me realizing that I'm just a part of something very small in this world. I'm not a big thing, and I'll never be a big thing. That's what makes me feel like I'm a beautiful woman. And sometimes I go into the sadness of the world, where the world speaks and the world express how they feel, and I become a part of that, that chain of power, chain of movement, and chain of reshaping. And then I retreat. And after I have learned that, and I get a few information that I have learned from that, and I go and restart all over again and create the beauty that I want to feel within myself. It always begins with my feelings. What is your feeling today? You know, and yes, January. I mean, this year already, I was already struggling with lots of things, having to be in a state of Brexit in the United Kingdom. This again was another learning, because of it felt as if the world was shaping itself again. And Corona came, and now we're talking about Black Lives Matters, and we're talking about all life matters, and everything. But your responsibility as a human being, you have to then draw a line, and that line should be, starting all over again. What is your starting all over, point? Where are we starting? And I'm starting on saying to myself, you know what, William Carroll, you can never want to have answers from other people. You can never want other people to fix the world. You got to be the fixer of your own world. That's what I say to myself. And sometimes it's confusing, because of we are brought up into this system of codependency. We codepend. And because of we codepend, sometimes we sit and look at our situation and wait for someone to come and fix it. It's either a government, it's either your friends, it's either it's either your parents, it's either your sisters. You're sitting somewhere, especially this present moment. I myself, I'm going through that change of where next. Where next? Where are we going next? Corona has just probably finished, but the scarcity of it still roams around the street like crazy. There's still a big monster, as we were brought up to believe that they were monsters. And it feels as if coronavirus has left this massive monster roaming around our streets, even though we know that it's about to finish. But some of us, we're still really afraid even to go walk out there. And you realize that this is a time when we need to take our freedom back and say, why are we afraid of death? Every day when you walk outside of your home, there's a car. You could be knocked by that car within a blink of an eye. We are not the soul to be afraid. We always put ourselves in danger. Everything that we do, it's danger. Starting from, when you prepare food, you use the sharp knives. You are surrounded with fire. The pots are hot. Any moment a mistake can happen. And that's life, and that's the beauty of it. And so today I feel like it's starting all over again. That's it. Moving to all over again, starting all over again. Have conversations. Listen to the anger and the frustrations of the world, and speak about your own frustrations in this world. But always remember, you belong to nothingness, and nothingness is you're just a resonation of a molecule of air that one day will fade away, and you wouldn't even know when you have fade away. So today, this video of mine, it's a video of me really, really sinking deep every day, doing my best to sink deep. And I feel emotional, and my emotions are so beautiful, because I realize that I can't live in fight. I can't fight to live in this world. I can't live in fear. I can't live in trying to show the world what am I made out of, what I can do. I can only share my voice, which is kind of a storytelling, isn't it? And this makes me sparkle because this is me living, being able to use my tongue to tell people about what I think about myself, and all that I say, it's always it always it is always voices that come deep within me, where my spirit says, go out there and start talking about yourself, start telling the world how you feel, and somebody might resonate with this. So what I'm saying, start all over again, check yourself, and you find that. And what my last statement that I'm going to say now is that with the angers and frustrations that we have, it has nothing to do with outside. It always begins somewhere hidden. I call it a human being, a global warming, I call it. And for me, a human being global warming, it is that place where we have our keys. Those keys, those little shining things that we put and we open the door. Every one of us has a door, and that door represent peace, represent wisdom, represent inspiration, represent anger, represent the biggest disturbed souls in this world. So today, I think what you need to do, and I'm doing myself, is that look at your door. When you have waked up this morning, feel, is that home where you live in really peaceful? Yes, sometimes you can have arguments with those that you live with. But how honest are you with your feelings in your own home? You know, with your brother, with your sister, with your son, you know, with with your husband, with your ex-husband, with with everyone around you. How do you feel? And above all, with yourself. And you begin from that point. Yes, we talk about Black Lives Matter. I'm one of those. I'm very involved with this Black Lives Matter, but I'm more involved in Black Lives Matter in a research state of our minds. Especially now, when I started, yes, I expressed my anger, I expressed my frustrations, but at this moment I'm researching the state of our minds as collective society. And I then move away from the collective state of mind, and I go to individuality. How people are reacting with this, because sometimes you have to understand that it's very easy for us to go into a subject where we are all collected and start talking about a case where we want to see change. But then the problem is that we start also in that, while we're trying to get a change, we start then how do you say, projecting our feelings, projecting our frustrations that we already have in our own closed doors, which I call, of course, global warming. And this, for me, global warming, it's where society live as if they're happy, but the mere fact is that most of things that we are living in, it's a boiling volcano. You know, I hate you, but I have to coexist with you. And because of I have to coexist with you, I hide lots of things and I only go out there to try to have a voice, but I'm already confused. So, what are we doing to move away confusion within ourselves? And so that we can live peaceful and say, I'm living peaceful and I'm okay with everything. I'm okay with everything. Sometimes you have to be okay with nothing in your pocket. You understand? As long as you have friends, and that's what I'm going to say as well, the most important thing in this life is to have true friendships, true friendships, true friendships. And true friendships has no color. And growth, once you start having true friends, you start having true growth begin. And when you have true friendships, you can never find yourself struggling in this world, because true friends, they cocoon you, they make sure that you're protected. And when you are protected, you're protected by everyone in the world. So today my starting point is that everyone, it's my brother, everyone, it's my sister. Life matters. Everyone lives matters. And when we say that, those who are hating Black people, they are hating white people. Do you understand what I mean? When the young men grow in a place where there's lots of anger and animosity, that person is gonna take that anger and animosity to the world. It does not matter what color they are. So we're living in better times. What is your plan for starting all over again? So this is Carol Matiwula here saying, love shall prevail. You know nothing in this world. Sometimes stop fighting for cases that are too bigger than you, but be the better change you want to see in the world. Just remember, there's a bigger space in nothingness, and sinking into that and define your tomorrow, plan your future, befriend people, you know, befriend people today, befriend people, and realize that you are very magnificent as you are. And sometimes it's good just to be innocent, you, and just speak from the bottom of your heart. And you're allowed to make mistakes. You're allowed to have different dialogues as a person. You're allowed to be angry. You're allowed to be happy. You're allowed to express yourself deep. You allow, after you have expressed yourself deep, and you're allowed to come back into peaceness and self-reflect so you can walk in this planet peacefully. This is Carol Matiwula saying, one love, beautiful people. Start all over again. Create a better future for everyone around you for tomorrow. Bye now.